here we go, you guys. We are going to go ahead and do this PowerPoint presentation. And one of the things I want you guys to be aware of is many of you are here because you want to do a course. So here is the two-part masterclass, okay? This is how to create a simple landing page, accept payment, and conduct your dream webinar. So the aim of this webinar is to utilize Zoom webinar features to create your dream webinar, an online course that will help you consistently build your professional brand, develop loyalty, and generate revenue for your business without using Teachable, Kajabi, and Kartra. Now, Robert, from your perspective, do you know a lot of these courses here?
Yes, we've talked about those before, and that was before you stumbled onto this idea that we could just use Zoom to do it, and you were telling me about how kind of pricey these other places were.
Yeah. So now we've got Angela also will be on site with us, and she will be monitoring the comments here. Hi, D'Angela.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. No problem, D'Angela. All right, here we go, you guys. So again, I'm going to be sharing my PowerPoint presentation. We're going to split it up in a few ways. It's going to be a bit technical, so I want you guys to take a deep breath in how I'm going to show this to you, okay? So let me just tell you a little bit about me. I am a psychotherapist, I'm a videographer, and a marketing consultant. And I'm also a practice owner. So just like many of you who are here, you carry many, many hats. And D'Angela and Robert are two of my all-star clinicians at CAV Family Therapy. So I asked them on here to look at the comments. But let me just tell you about my process about doing this. And I'm gonna show you what happened during COVID time. So when we were placed on the shelter in place, I was in panic mode because for the many of you who know about my businesses, I've got 3 different businesses. I've got Filmit.com, which is I create promotional videos specifically for clinicians. And I also am a continuing education provider through CAV Academy, where I create these summits and conferences in vacation spots like Kauai, Maui, South Florida. Okay, and I'm doing that consistently. When COVID hit, and we were placed in this whole shelter in place thing, okay? I panicked. And so both of those businesses, other than CAV Family Therapy, Filmit.com and CAV Academy, relied on travel. And so I panicked. My business and both of those companies, Filmit.com and CAV Academy, lost revenue by 37%. And it was a huge blow, just like many of you. So I panicked and I said, what the heck am I gonna do? So I pivoted and I started doing mastermind groups. And so the first mastermind group, I said to myself, I'm just gonna have 6 people attend this course or this mastermind class for 5 weeks. Lo and behold, there were about 48 that signed up for the first round, and I had to do 6 to 7 groups. And each one of them were very successful. I did 2 cohorts. So the moral of the story here is that, you know, during times of difficulty just like this is where you pivot as much as possible. Now, many of you have businesses that soared during COVID. That wasn't our business. And Robert and D'Angela can testify to that. All right, so we're gonna do step by step on how to do this, okay? First of all, you're going to purchase Zoom Pro with Webinar. So this is what it looks like, okay? Let me know if you can see my Zoom here. Robert, D'Angela, can you see Zoom?
Yes, real quick, we've got at least one participant who doesn't seem to have the PowerPoint in email. And I actually don't have that in email to send.
Okay, that's okay. So after this, if you want to look at your email in the trash bin or somewhere there, you can go ahead and get that. But for now, I want you guys to follow through because I will be showing you my PowerPoint here, okay? So this is what we're going to do. So if you want to upgrade, so you can do all the features that I'm going to show you today only with the pricing plans. If you go into the pricing plans, and I'm not a seller of Zoom at all, okay? I'm not getting any kickbacks for this. I'm so sorry, but this is what I use. I use the Pro Business, okay? And there's an add-on, and the add-on is this webinar feature right here. So basically every month I spend maybe about $70 for the Zoom webinar, just all the features. Now, for those of you who are in telehealth and doing the HIPAA, it's about $200. So I don't use that. For the purpose of this tutorial here, it's all about the creating courses and webinars via Zoom. If you are planning on doing consistent Zoom webinars or courses online, I highly recommend Zoom. And let me tell you why. Since COVID hit or shelter in place, Zoom for some reason was the brand for online virtual courses or online virtual webinars and even telehealth. Within 2 weeks, we were scrambling on how to utilize videos as much as possible, okay? It was really, really difficult for many of us who were not familiar with the technology of this day and age. So Zoom came up with a lot of these features available for all of you. So when you are doing this Zoom webinar, I want you guys to look at the plans, such as in the Pro, okay? You can do business, but I use the Pro. Zoom, and also the webinar feature. So here is what the webinar feature includes. The webinar features, and for those of you who've seen me on social media, I've been doing a lot of live streaming video to unlimited audience on Facebook and also on YouTube. So my main area is Facebook. So when you look at it from that perspective, it actually is working well. Now, why are webinars so important in this day and age? Well, the thing is this, you build connection and you also provide these contents for people. Robert D'Angelo, if you could you go ahead and mute yourselves? There's like some feedback real quick. Go ahead and mute yourself.
Really quick, there's a question. Can we add on a free version of Zoom in place of Pro Business?
Yeah, so what you guys need to do, unfortunately, is you have to upgrade from free to the Pro. You have to upgrade from the free to the Pro because I believe that you can only do 40 minutes and limited. Yeah. Okay. So, so step number 1, upgrade to Pro and then webinar, the webinar form. Okay, purchase the Zoom Pro with webinar features. Okay, so that's number 1. All right. Next, step 2 is create a banner in Canva. Now, I'm going to show you, for those of you who registered for this webinar, you saw this banner right here. Can you see this, Robert D'Angelo? Okay. It says Filmit.com Masterclass hosted by Ernesto Segismundo. That's me. And I did that all on Canva. If you are not familiar with Canva, Canva basically is a place where you can create so many other things. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So the Canva banner that I use was made on Canva, and it looks like this, and it looks like this also on Facebook. So anytime you post a link on Facebook, this will show up, and I'm going to show you step by step on how that looks like. And for those of you who are not familiar with Canva, Canva looks like this. You can create designs, banners, social media, animated, infographics, posters, presentation. It is just wild on what you can do with Canva. So step number 2, okay? Step number 2 is now creating a banner about your webinar through Canva. You can use all kinds of other platforms, but Canva right now is a platform that I utilize and I'm very, very familiar with. Okay, and the banner again looks like this. All right. So the next step, step number 3, okay, not 2, 3, okay, is to activate and set up PayPal feature in Zoom. Now, this is the beauty about PayPal, okay? Now, there's Stripe, there's all kinds of platforms out there to receive payment, but PayPal is actually the best at this point, and I believe, unfortunately, I believe that that's the only payment form that Zoom allows. So I'm going to go into my